It's too much on my mind. I'm too up for you guys like Jordan, my fly. I'm bored with the slides. I'm stoned watching cartoons at night.
Well, there's a difference between spell casting, when they're actively casting spells on you through their language. And there's a difference between that and if I'm on the phone with my sister and she's like, oh, he won't eat anything, talking about Hydro Jeremy. And, my mom's crying. And I'm like, well, fill up his bowl, with 2 bags of his food. I'm like, did you give him the Rosati's wings yesterday? She's like laughing, yeah. And I had my mom give him my steak from Outback the other day. I was like, give this specifically to Jeremy. And like, so then my sister's like, you're not listening. She's like, you're not listening to what I'm saying. He won't eat anything. So like, I did listen, but I had a solution. I'm like, I didn't get to finish what I was saying. What I was saying was, this is a solution. Like, fill up his bowl all the way with an extra, so then he'll eat it tonight. Like, when everyone is asleep, no one's bothering him. But really, they probably can't even do that because the other dog would eat it. So it wasn't really a good solution, but it was all I had. So, of course, she's like, you're not listening. So, like, there's this spell casting, and then there's this, like, not finishing type thing. And I really struggle with the not finishing, the second one, the not finishing thing. And I've had spellcasters my whole life in my family, the tenants, where they're just saying these diabolical things, and I'm having to take it all in like traffic, like Ezekiel 28. You just take in all your senses. And they're like doing these crazy, wicked things like as I'm looking the other way. So there's that. And then there's the third one, which is the native girl, where she can talk a mile a minute and she's talking about money and all these complexities of relationships. And like, uh, in my man role, I'm like so awestruck by her smart intelligence and her beauty that I can't even focus enough to hone in on the relationship that would save my own life, you know? And I can't even have a two-way conversation because it's like I had to keep everything real simple with her. And I don't like that because I'm actually really complex and I'm capable of having conversations. But now I don't get to have conversations with anyone. I never have been. I've never been able to, except people that were in my life for a certain moment, like certain time, everything clicked. It was like that in California a few times. And at SCAD, it was like that maybe once or twice with Alex, where we weren't honed in on racing each other. And Lindsey Wilson a little bit with Connor and Daniel and Shay. But, I'm fighting the whole time with Shay to stand as Mufasa and Simba. that I'm both of them. Not that Shay is. Shay was very respectable and honorable the whole time. But because the white man is the cracker, you know what I'm saying? Like, they crack. Like, you have to uphold yourself and be fluid in what you're doing to the black man, or else they'll crack you. Like, that's just what they do. It's enmity. It's ancient enmity, which means it's not meant as that you're against them. It's brother and brother. It's no hard feelings. It's just it just comes out in language, and you have to combat them. But their heart is their heart. Okay? So, and then, like I said, a few times in California, and just maybe once with the native girl, maybe once with Liz or any of these girls, but I just wish that I was able to express myself without having to fight everyone all the time, and, you know, have a conversation, like, show my intelligence. And, you know, I mean, the native girl, she can really, really talk fast and really, like, get all these details going. And I mean, she knows all of it like an investigator. She knows all of it. And it's like, I just, you know, I had to remain with being able to not trust her, because I was still figuring out everything, all these complexities of relationships that she was telling me about in her coded language. You know, because, I mean, you're talking about the seed of Satan. You're talking about Nicolas Cage, the seed of Satan. And then also, like, that my love was so strong that it didn't matter. Like, I will always hold on to that love no matter what. And I haven't had a relationship since then. You know, I mean, yeah, I've had people, you know, kind of that are like, they're like, he's my boyfriend or something. Like, they're peoples sort of thing. They're all peoples. And even at the restaurants in Lexington, where I would have these meals with my mom, and, like, I'd be kind of complaining and during the meal, like, what are we going to do sort of thing, you know, which was after 2015. And, because she would be spellcasting, you know, I was, sometimes your complaints are you fighting the devil. Complaints are not all bad thing. If you go off that Grox, like, complaints are not always bad. You have to defend yourself. You know, I got through mental health court and DTR. I mean, I completed Deuteronomy. Like, these are things that, and those girls were super hot in Lexington. Like, these were all waitresses. And I would just see the biggest butts I've ever seen in my life. Like, wow. I think about it today, I'm like, man, those were, whoo, like, man, I would slap those, like, man, wow. But, you know, but it's all just myself doing all this. Like, but man, those were some really, really hot girls that were waitresses there. I mean, I can't even believe how hot they were. It was like they got a job because they knew that I was coming. You know, they knew that I was there. Like it was, oh man, like they were so hot, man. Wow, like their butts were so big, like man, like they really were, man. They were the biggest butts I've ever seen in my life. They were the biggest butts I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I'd be going to Texas Roadhouse, Logan's, like everybody would by Regal, like Hamburg place, like man, those were the biggest